Hello students. In today's session, I will discuss second type of reproduction, which is biparental. It is called amphimixis as it involves production of gametes by gametogenesis which occur in the gonads, for which we call sex organs, followed by fertilization where male and female gamete will fuse to form a zygote, and then zygote is transforming into an embryo during embryogenesis. In sexual reproduction, as we say biparental, two sexes are required, male and female. As male and female gonads are located in the same body or in different body, we classify organisms as bisexual, unisexual. Bisexual means the individual is having both male and female gonads in the same body. Unisexual means either the individual is male or female. If this condition is observed in thalloid plants which are undifferentiated, it is found in bryophytes, pteridophytes, etc. Here, the thalloid plant is having both male and female organs, that is antheridia and archegonia, in the same thallus. Then we use the term homothallic to show bisexual nature. And if the thallus is either with antheridium or with archegonium, then we use the term heterothallic to specify unisexuality. In general, scientifically, there are two more terms. Monoecious term means sexes are united, so it represents bisexuality, and dioecious means sexes are separated to represent unisexuality. In terms of animals, there are two special words used: hermaphrodites for bisexual animals and hermaphrodites for unisexual animals. Thus, each and every word to specify sexuality in organisms you have to remember. Further, there are some organisms who attain maturity for reproduction, but throughout the year they will not reproduce. For such organisms we call seasonal breeders. And there are some organisms who will reproduce throughout the year in their reproductive life. We call them as continuous breeders. These two terms we are using in case of animals. There are some animals who lay the eggs. These eggs are fertilized or unfertilized. Usually laying unfertilized eggs we call spawning. Here we consider oviparous, means laying fertilized eggs, where they show external development. Then viviparous means animals like mammals, they give birth to their young ones. In case of mammals, we make two groups: non-primates, primates. Primata includes monkeys, apes and human beings. Non-primates in the sense cattle, lion, tiger, cat, dog, rat, etc. Here, in non-primata and in primata, the females show cyclical changes during their reproductive life. These changes occur at the hormonal level, which will have influence on the gonads. It will have influence on the gametogenesis, followed by the overall reproductive activity. These cyclical changes is characterized by bleeding phase. Then we call menstrual cycle. So primate females are showing menstrual cycles, and non-primate females will show estrous cycle, which is not characterized by bleeding phase. So these all terms you have to remember, because any term they may ask you for 1 mark. Let us come to the phases involved in sexual reproduction. First phase is pre-fertilization. means before fertilization, what exactly happening in sexual reproduction? There are two events. Event number 1 is gametogenesis. Event number 2 is transfer of gametes. Second phase in sexual reproduction is fertilization. It is the actual fusion of male and female gametes to form a diploid zygote. In lower organisms, fertilization takes place outside the body where water required as a medium. And in case of higher organisms, female body will have a provision for fertilization where male organism has to release the gametes in the female body. This we call internal fertilization, where body fluid acts as a medium. After fertilization, the product is zygote. This zygote undergoes third phase of sexual reproduction known as post-fertilization changes, which includes two events. First event is cell division. Zygote is single cell. It has to undergo mitosis. So one cell become 2, become 4, become 8, like this. Cell number goes on increasing. So growth will initiate. Only increasing number of cells is not enough. Cell has to elongate and they have to start performing functions. So overall development needs to cell undergo differentiation. So there are two events. In embryogenesis, development of embryo, which occurring in post-fertilization changes, which is third phase of sexual reproduction. So first event is cell division, second event is cell differentiation. Thus, you need to remember 3 phases in sexual reproduction along with the events and the type of fertilization. After learning sexual reproduction, we should differentiate between asexual and sexual reproduction, along with some exceptions.